Hello, children. I was watching the, as they call it, news, and they said that Mr. Baldwin decided to speak out. I don't know why he's doing that. I am going to do this like a reaction. For that reason, I wasn't paying attention. I was rewatching Onibaba, which I started the other day, and it's a great movie. I think it's on one of the streaming services. It's a Japanese movie, black and white. It's kind it has like it's a horror movie in that movies like Mask of the Red Death are a horror movie. So if you want to watch a movie and you want to watch like fancy pants, critically acclaimed Japanese horror movie, black and white, it's not scary though. It's more like thinky about people and how they are. For 1964, I think. Anyway, I really like it. I was rewatching it to put it back on my top 100 to make sure, and I'm still twerking that. But right now, I am going to do this Baldwin thing as a reaction. They're also talking about having too many goods come in or whatever, so the warehouses are full. That doesn't make sense to me. If we're not selling the stuff fast enough, then why do we need more? Anyways, 1 second. So I'm going to try this one from Fox News Live or something because I want to get something that's not a bunch of editorial, because I clicked on the CNN one and it looked like it was they're going to talk and talk and talk and then show clips. I want to see what he says plain, and this looks shorter. It's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. If it's not the whole thing, I'll have to fuck it later.
What's the current state of what's going on with the case?
I'm not allowed to make any comments.
Yeah, you're not allowed to make comments while you're making comments.
I've been ordered by the Sheriff's Department in Santa Fe. I can't answer any questions about the investigation. I can't. It's an active investigation in terms of a woman dying. She was my friend. She was my friend. The day I arrived in Santa Fe to start shooting, I took her to dinner with the director.
I'm stopping this at Joel, the director. He shouldn't be doing this at all, I don't think. I already thought his statement that was released or whatever before was like the statement, oh, I'm so sad somebody on my set died. He's not understanding something here, and I'm sure part of this is like some kind of shock. But from the things he already said, there was like a picture of him going out with his kids to like shop for pumpkins or something. When I saw that, I was like, he should be in the house hiding. You know what I mean? He should be seeing himself, and I hate to say this because it's not exactly the same, but he should be seeing himself as the new O.J. Simpson. We haven't had such a high-profile person, that famous, that everybody knows, kill somebody maybe, in a long time. And he shouldn't be making statements. He shouldn't be coming out and, going grocery shopping or whatever the hell he's doing. He shouldn't be acting like normal. That's how I feel. For his benefit, I'm saying, like, if I was his bro, I would be like, stay in the house, be quiet. Don't talk to anybody. If you really have to go, you have to go to a doctor's appointment. Take a car, get in a driveway, come out from a driveway. No walking around, no getting your picture taken, no making statements. I would treat it like the seriousness it is that, I'm a suspect, let's say, in a crime. I'm sure my phone screwed up, but because I can't leave this thing sit for 2 seconds without it. I want to sleep. You know what I mean? I think he's at fault, but I also think that deep down he's a good person. So it's just really weird that I don't know what they're doing. Okay.
We were a very, very
Okay, who's the lady who
Carol
walked
Williams'
up to
crew
touch him and
shooting
he
a film together, and
like
then
tried to tell him no, and he
Now,
like
I've been
excuse
told
me.
multiple times,
What is
don't
that?
make any comments about the ongoing investigation.
He's
and I
been
can't.
told multiple times,
I can't. That's it.
And you met
What
with,
are the
sorry,
what are the
and he
questions
can't. But
you
he's
have
standing
about
there.
you met with I forget her name at the moment, but you met
Who
with
is
her
this?
family,
This is not the wife.
Yes,
her
I
name
met
is
with her
Helena. If you're spending this
Is
much
that the
time
wife?
waiting for us, you should
You don't
know
know
her
her
name.
name?
Her name is Helena.
Helena Hutchins. I met with her husband Matthew and her son. Yeah, that's right.
And how did that meeting go?
That's not the wife, is it?
I wouldn't know how to characterize that. They're
You
mortified.
guys, you know what?
Would you-
No details.
But do me a favor. I'm gonna answer the question.
Well, I
That's
appreciate
not
what
his
you-
wife,
what you
right?
said.
The guy is overwhelmed with grief. This is something that you know. There are incidental actions.
They're gonna follow. I mean, they followed him when he just used to punch paparazzi or whatever it was he used to do, and I think he mistakenly is treating this in that way. You can't do that.
In shock. He has a 9-year-old son. You know, we are in constant contact with him because we're very worried about his family and his kid.
Is that his wife? Because this looks like, I know his wife turned out to be white, but this lady looks super white. From, I mean, I'm looking on my phone.
What else do you have?
Would you ever work on another film set that involves firearms of that nature?
I couldn't answer that question. I really don't have any. I have no sense of it.
Is this like
I do
her,
know
a clone of
that an
her, her
ongoing
sister,
effort to
a
limit
publicist?
The use of firearms on film sets is something I'm extremely.
He should be talking.
Where are you? But remember, something that I think is important, and that is, how many bullets have been fired in films and TV shows in the last 75 years? This is America. How many bullets have gone off in movies and on TV sets?
This is America.
How many billions in the last 75 years? And nearly all of it without incident.
Yeah, nearly all of it without incident, Alex. So,
But now is we have to realize that when it does go wrong, and it's this horrible, catastrophic thing, some new measures have to take place. Rubber guns,
some new measures.
guns,
Wow. No,
no
he's in
violence,
denial,
no
I think,
armaments,
that
etc. That's not
Okay,
it's
I gotta pause this.
urgent.
it's not for him to
urgent.
decide. He said. My mom used to talk in such a way that I would ask her why she did something. Not did something bad, just anything. And she would say, I don't know why that happened. So even the things she did happened. And he's talking about what things like this. How did he just say it? Oh no. When it does go wrong, like it went wrong. You know what I mean? That's how he's saying it. Okay. Okay, he said that there has to be new measures about rubber guns and stuff like that. Okay, I made a couple videos, and I didn't include the videos in my video, but I went looking for footage, and you know how you have the little boxes and stuff, and the cards that you have that pop up in the top over here. So on some other videos, I found one of those behind the scenes things from John Wick 3, where, you know, they're shooting people and they're going like this with a gun. It's plastic and there's no noise at all. There's another scene where they're going like this and the guns are just making snapping sounds. There's nothing coming out or anything. And that's why, from watching behind the scenes on newer movies like that, big budget movies, I understand, I was under the impression, and I swear, like I said, I saw the directors talk about the fact that, you know, because of what happened to Brandon Lee in the past, you know, they do things like this now where there's just not the possibility of guns going off because there's no guns, real ones, being used. There's nothing coming out of these plastic weapons. They're already being used on so many sets. And he's talking about, like, this is something that happened, and he said, this is not for me to decide. So I think he's trying to say that it's not for him to make new rules for Hollywood. But what's not sinking into him is that on this set, it already was for him to decide. Because it was his choice, I guess, because they didn't have the rules already. So they made him or whoever, other producers or the director or the people, whoever was being creatively in charge of making the decisions, like they decide on what kind of costumes and, you know, what the color palette's going to be. I mean, he's not the director, he's the producer, so there's some difference there. Somebody decided, yeah, let's use real guns. Let's use real guns. Let's use blanks. Let's do that instead of completely plastic guns that cannot have any projectiles. Somebody on that set decided it. The producers, there were a lot of producers, and like I said, I don't know to what extent, you know what I mean, who decided what, but somebody on there said, yeah, let's use real guns, and everybody went along with it, including the main actor, who is one of the producers. So somebody on that set decided, yeah, there's CGI, there's plastic guns already, we're going to use a real one. For whatever reason, they wanted it to look authentic, I don't know. Somebody did make that decision on his film set. But it's not like, I want to say it's like people who say, well, I couldn't do the right thing because there wasn't a law against it. And I'm not saying he's saying that, but just he shouldn't be talking right now. I think he's Aries, he's probably set to, super flustered. Probably seeing these people, all the paparazzi and stuff like that is making him super flustered. But the fact is, he should be thinking of himself as a suspect. Like I'm sure he's watched a lot of old noirs, thrillers and stuff like that. He should be thinking of himself as a suspect. And he should behave that way. So, I'm going to finish watching this, but...
So whatever other people decide is the best way to go in terms of protecting people's safety on film sets, I'm all in favor of, and I will cooperate with that in any way that I can.
Do you have any further projects in the works at the moment, or is everything on
No,
hold?
that's irrelevant to what we're talking about. Yeah, that's it.
Do you think production will start up again on
No, I doubt it. Necessarily.
Somebody...
Was there anything else?
Why Vermont?
Somebody asked him if you have any other projects coming up. He's like, no, that's irrelevant.
So just do me a favor.
It's an innocent question. The man shouldn't be talking.
Because you guys are following
And all I want to do, as a courtesy to you...
I know he's not the kind of person who could be told to shut up. And he literally said in this thing that everybody said, don't talk about it. And he's like, so I'm standing here and I'm talking, but I'm not talking about it. You know what I mean? He's, I get like this. He's like spinning wheels, He didn't, as far as I know, he didn't mean to kill this woman. I think some really bad shit happened because a lot of people were being irresponsible, including him. And he needs to just acknowledge that part. He doesn't say, yeah, I was trying to kill her, or anything like that, but he has to understand that it's something like, yeah, I mean, he can't right now. That's why I'm saying he should shut up. But the fact that he's talking at all is making it look like he's not going to take responsibility. So if he doesn't want to say, and I'm not saying he's supposed to say I'm responsible for her death. I'm saying he should, if he's not going to acknowledge that it was his set, he was the star, he was one of the producers, and it wasn't being run right, and in that way he's responsible, along with other people, for what happened, then he should just sit quiet, hide somewhere, stay in the house. Like I said, take limos, take town cars, whatever you want to call them, in and out of driveways. Do not talk with the press. Don't release any more freaking statements. Shut up until you are or aren't charged. You've had a good career. Take a powder, okay? Just take a powder. Just pump the brakes. Stay home. Excuse me, that was like a growly thing. That wasn't my stomach either. It was like somewhere up here. My duodenum. Who knows what that was? But he needs to just try to relax. Do some journaling. Search inside himself. Talk to a priest. Do what he needs to do to understand that this is not like his other scandals. This is not, this is like, he has to see himself as the biggest celebrity involved in someone's death since OJ. I'm not even kidding. I just feel bad. The part of me that always liked him feels bad. I know him and his ilk hate people like me. You know, fans of Trump. The whole time he was Trump on Saturday Night Live, I never got upset. You know, I wouldn't. President Trump and I both thought he'd be the perfect person to play him. And I don't think his portrayal was that awful. You know, but you know, those people on that side hate people like myself. I do not hate Alec Baldwin. I feel bad that this happened, but he's a little bit responsible at least. And he needs to sit with that. You know, and like I said, just don't do this. Me being on your side, Alec Baldwin would say, don't do this. Is that his wife? I sat on my bifocals, so I have to get them fixed. But is that her? But you're famous. You're involved in a very high profile thing. Don't go on outings with the kids if you don't want them to be chased. But Hilaria and the kids can go, and you can stay home. Stay home. You can be on the internet. You can take naps. You can watch Netflix. The paparazzi are going to be following you for a long time. If your kids are with you, they're going to be following you. It's a mess.